What's up, Bookie Crushers? It's Friday. It's beautiful outside. In fact, it has been very hot in recent days here in Quebec City, but today is just perfect. So I figured, why not shoot the video outside to mix things up a little bit? All right, so speaking of recent days, I shared a lot of underdog picks lately. In the past two videos, I presented 6 picks at positive odds. But today I could not find many underdog picks that I like. So in fact, my 4 selections for today will all be on favorites. So hopefully we can win them all or perhaps go 3-1 to cash some profit. So speaking of recent days, the last time I made a video was Wednesday and we had 3 picks at positive odds, and unfortunately this time it did not do well. We picked up 1 win, 2 losses, and 1 push. So overall, a person risking $100 lost 155 on Wednesday. If I remember correctly, on Tuesday we had more success. We picked up a gain of $120. So hopefully we wrap up the week on a good note. So let's start with my first selection, which concerns the Milwaukee-Cincinnati game. And in this game, I am betting the Milwaukee Brewers money line. The current odds are around minus 140 in American format, which is the same as 1.71 in decimal format. All right, so let's discuss some arguments favoring this pick. So basically, the Milwaukee Brewers just keep on winning, and as a result, they are running away with the NL Central Division. They are now 8 games clear of the Chicago Cubs after racking up 12 straight victories. And they've also won 15 of their past 16, which is mind-boggling. The Reds are also enjoying a positive season, as shown by their current 64-58 record overall. And at home, they have been very good with 35 wins versus 27 losses. Now, they are looking to stop the Milwaukee train, especially against division rivals, so obviously they will be very motivated. And Cincinnati is also in the race to play baseball in October, so they are clearly motivated as well. As of now, Milwaukee's starter is still undecided, whereas the Reds will hand the ball to Nick Martinez. His 4.49 ERA is not inspiring, but he still holds a good 1.18 whip statistic. However, Milwaukee's offense has scored a minimum of 7 runs in 5 consecutive games, which is eye-popping. To me, it all comes down to motivation. I already mentioned how Cincinnati is motivated, but Milwaukee is even more because they can make history with a win today. In fact, that would tie the team's record of all time of 13 straight victories, which dates back to 1987. I know that the Reds are capable of causing some upsets, and also I found an interesting stat on a website called baseball7.mlb.com, which I recently discovered that I find interesting. Let me share my screen with you. So if you go there and you click on top on probable pitchers, you can see how each starting pitcher for today has fared in his career against the current opposing team's roster. So if you look at Nick Martinez, he has faced 64. There have been 64 plate appearances against current Milwaukee players, and those guys have obtained a poor batting average of 180. So in other words, Martinez has had a good success against the current Brewers players. So that is a source of concern for sure. But like I said, I'm still going to go with the Brewers. They need this win. But because there are many sources of concern, I have graded it 2 stars out of 5, as you can see on your screen right now. So I believe the ROI is around plus 1.5% or plus 2%. So it's not that big of a ROI, but I still think it is worth betting. All right, my second pick for today is the, show you, I'm going to go with the Boston Red Sox to prevail over the Marlins. Let me show you the official pick on your screen. So the money line right now is minus 160, which is the same as 1.63 in decimal, and this is rated 3 stars out of 5. My God, this is annoying. There is this bug that keeps flying on my hand. That's what happens when you record a video outside, right? All right, so Boston is trying to chase the Jays atop the AL East division, but their run has been slowed by a recent bad stretch in which Boston has lost 5 of its past 7 matches. And now they are 5 games behind Toronto and only 1.5 games ahead of the Yankees. Now the question is, has Boston's last 2 series proven that they are frauds? To me, the answer is no. Don't forget that they played against the Padres and the Astros, both on the road, so those were tough matches. Now, Luca Giolito is the starter for the Padres. He's enjoying a pretty good season. He owns a 3.77 ERA along with a 1.25 whip stat, which is better than average. He was masterful 2 starts ago by tossing 8 strong innings against the Astros, in which he gave up just 3 hits and 1 run. Now, he followed up by taking somewhat of a beating against the Padres. He lasted 4 2/3 innings on the mound while giving up 5 hits and 4 runs. So, which Giolito will show up today? To me, the answer is the first version. I think this is a good bounce back spot for Giolito against the Marlins at home. Now, I have discussed his counterpart, Sandy Alcantara, on many occasions on this channel. I have said how it's hard not to feel for this guy. So he went from being an all-star to one of the worst starters in MLB following a very tough injury. His 2025 campaign has been a nightmare. He's been consistently bad. His season ERA is 6.55 and his whip stat is 1.45. It doesn't get any worse than this. So to me, this is a must-win game for the Red Sox. They have been reeling lately. They need to beat weaker opposition like the Marlins. Now, I am aware of the fact that many people like to fade teams who are returning home after a road trip, but that is not what I'm going to do in this case. All right, now before revealing my next 2 picks, let's take a look at a quick clip showing my 2 boys several years ago in some cool electric cars. All right, so my 3rd pick, as you can see on your screen right now, is the New York Yankees to get the W in St. Louis. This is a 3-star play. So aside from the Atlanta Braves, the Yankees may be one of the most underperforming team in 2025, in my humble opinion. They need a series sweep against a weaker club to make a late charge in the American League East division. Now, this damn bug just won't go away. The Yankees qualify under a betting system called the Big Upset Number 2, whose rules are as follows. Bet against any team that meets the following 3 criteria. They lost their last game to a team whose money line was bigger than plus 150. If you're more familiar with decimal odds, we're talking about a line higher than 2.5. They must be facing a different opponent today, and they must be an underdog today. Now, if you focus on the Cardinals, they lost their last match 6-5 against the worst MLB team, the Colorado Rockies. And in this game, Colorado's money line was around plus 190 or plus 200, so this was indeed a big upset. And as you can tell, Colorado is now facing a different, St. Louis is facing a different opponent, and they are underdogs. So, according to the rules, we must fade them, and that's why I am opting for the Yankees here. Here is a source of concern, though. Luis Gil getting the nod for the Yankees. In his return from a lat strain, he's struggled mightily. He owns an erratic 7.27 ERA in 2 starts, but I believe that he will be back on track today. He fared much better in his second outing, including fanning 7 batters against a tough Astros lineup. Also, Luis Gil was good last year. He posted a 1.19 whip stat, which is pretty solid. Now he is set to start against Andre Pallante, which is good news for us. His season ERA is quite bad, 4.95, and his whip stat is above the league average of 1.30. His whip stat is 1.37, so there has been quite a bit of traffic on the bases when Pallante has been on the mound. He was hammered in his last trip to the mound. He only lasted 1 2/3 innings while giving up 6 runs across 7 hits. And also, if you focus on Pallante's last 5 outings, his ERA has been 6.94. So for all of these reasons, I'm betting the Yankees to win straight up. We have some very reasonable odds, probably because the public does not trust Luis Gil too much, but I still think New York will get the job done today in St. Louis. And my fourth selection concerns the San Diego LA game. I'm taking the Dodgers to win straight up at minus 178 odds or 1.56 in decimal. And this may be the pick that I like the most among the 4 that I'm sharing with you today. So the Padres have done it. They are now atop the NL West division after seeing the Dodgers being on top for almost all season long. So that is quite shocking. But don't you think that the ultra-talented Dodgers team will do everything they can to get back atop the division? I do believe they will do that. And you could probably write a 500-page book on why these teams hate each other. This rivalry boiled over in the last series, so the upcoming 3 matches will be compulsive viewing. Both Ohtani and Tatis got hit by pitchers twice in the last series. I expect the benches to clear more than once during this series, so bring it on. So like Milwaukee, the Padres have been scorching hot lately, winning 14 of their last 16 games overall. Meanwhile, LA has been defeated in 14 of its past 25 matches, which is unacceptable for such a good team. Now, Clayton Kershaw may not be enjoying his best year at 37 years old, but he's still posting good numbers. Moreover, he tends to leave his best performances for crucial matchups, and this game certainly qualifies as being crucial. Also, Kershaw has been very successful in his career against San Diego. In 47 career starts against this divisional foe, he owns a 23-11 record, along with a tiny 2.19 ERA. Now, San Diego's plans to start Michael King were altered when they placed him in the injury list due to a knee inflammation. His replacement will have a very tough task ahead of him, so I think it will be too hard to handle, and in the end I've decided to go with the Dodgers money line. So you can see one last time my 4 selections for today. Like I said, they're all favorites. I would have liked to offer some underdogs, but there were none that I liked that much today. And by the way, here's something interesting for you. Would you like to learn 5 sneaky ways to beat bookies when it comes to line movement? I have recorded a video a few weeks ago revealing 5 tactics that have provided me with good profit over many years simply by looking at how betting odds move. This is a very underrated and undervalued topic, and I invite you to click the link, the small card appearing at the bottom of your screen, to view this insightful video. Not many people care about line movement, but this is a good way to make a profit in the sports betting world. So I'm Professor MJ from Quebec City in Canada. I wish you a great weekend. I'll see you again next week. Cheers, my bookie crushing friends.